Alright, today I'm going to show you how to bench bleed a master cylinder. Alright, then we're going to bleed the brakes apart. So, first step, you're going to need to go to the store and get some of these. This goes in your bench bleeding kit, and it goes right here, in this deal here. Let me show you what the deal is here. You got this master cylinder here, inside there, you got that deal there. These pistons here, these are called pistons. They go inside just like that. Just like that. This one goes right behind it, the spring gets compressed. This is where the end of the pedal goes, right there, right? So it's gonna sink in just like that. When you apply the pedal has a rod that pushes this piston and the other one that's in there that way. Squirts brake fluid out here, here, and here, and squeezes the brake shoes or brake pads. Each time you apply the brakes, they squeeze on the rotor, or brake shoes, brake drums. Sometimes you get air trapped inside the master cylinder. It'll be trapped in between the end here or in between the pistons sometimes, but it depends. So let me show you. This is the other piston, the outer one is the inner piston. Sometimes you get air trapped deep inside there. There'll be an air bubble that's very hard to get out. It'll be jammed, the air bubble will be jammed right behind here sometimes, and you can't get it out. Or it'll be jammed in between the piston here. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna bench bleed it. Alright, so you won't have any air trapped inside there. You see these O-ring seals right here? Sometimes these go bad. Yep, sometimes they won't seal inside there, inside this cylinder. They won't seal, so that means that each time you apply the brakes, that the fluid will go right past it. So if you got a bad seal, and you got a spongy brake pad, definitely have problems. And you have to change your whole cylinder, master cylinder. Or you can rebuild it. But you got to know what you're doing to do that, alright? Alright, first thing you're going to need is one of these. No, two of these or three. Depends how many ports you got, alright? If you don't got these, you can make them. But they're cheap. You might as well just go buy them. I'm going to bench bleed the master cylinder. But first, I want to make sure I got all this clean in here. You don't have to do all this. You don't have to take this apart. I just did it because I wanted to check the seals. These seals right here. Show these seals. I just wanted to check these seals and make sure they're all right. Okay, here we go. What you need to do is you need to pick up some of these fittings here. They sell these at the auto parts stores. And you're going to have to pick up 2 or 3, it depends. This one, I need 3. See? 1, 2, 3. So, you're going to have to go pick these up at the auto parts store. Okay, have some of these end caps ready for when you finish bleeding this, alright? You can make them, you can buy them, doesn't matter. Just have some ready because when we're done bleeding this, you're gonna have to put this on the end. Now, here's the thing. You got clear hoses, these here, or you got regular vacuum hoses that you can use. And the question is, which ones do you use? I highly recommend you use these. Yep, the reason why is so you can see the bubbles coming out. You don't have to use these. You can use these here, but with these clear ones, you can see the bubbles actually coming out and in to the reservoir. Alright, so you're better off using these deals here, the clear ones, see-through. But if you were to use these, you just look inside the reservoir the whole time and look for bubbles coming out of there. And once you stop getting bubbles, then you know you're done. But either way works, doesn't matter. It's up to you, whatever's available or whatever you want to do. Alright, before we start, just a word of caution. Brake fluid eats through paint. Now just imagine that stuff in your eyes. Make sure you wear eye protection, alright? This stuff will squirt out on you, and it squirts very far. Okay, we got all this hooked up. All the nipples are hooked up. So now what you want to do is you want to hook up the deal. All right, hook up your hoses. And we'll get that later. Hook up all the hoses. All right. Okay, we got all the hoses hooked up now. All right, all these are nice and tight. And now, put it right here. Look inside here. You gotta have the tubes fully submerged inside of the fluid, all right? So let's do it. Oh, and also, you need something to hold these tubes in there, because if you don't have anything to hold these tubes in here, it'll fall right out. So, now, let's start. Okay, now this is acting like the rod from the brake pedal, all right? So we're gonna put it back here like that, and then push on it. See the bubbles? All these bubbles here? I got the cylinder going in. Now I'm gonna back it out. So the fluid's gonna go back and forth. So now, forcing fluid in the reservoir, now out. Hold on for a sec. One of these is popping out of the fluid. So, keep all the tubes fully submerged. Okay? All right. There, they're all in right there. Okay? Now, just push. You're going to do this until all those bubbles are gone. Okay? Because sometimes bubbles will get trapped in between the pistons, especially at the end. So just keep on doing it. And you want to do it slow. You don't want to go too fast. This is spring loaded, so it has a lot of spring tension on it. So you're going to have to lean on your this. Okay? And try to get these hoses as short as possible. You don't want them too long. Because if you look, let me see. See these bubbles here? I'm already at the end of the travel of the piston here. You see? And these bubbles are down here. And when I go back, they're going to go right back in. So you want to make these hoses as short as possible. So just keep on pumping. And you're going to have to pump for a little while. I don't know how long yours is going to take, but you're going to have to do it for a little while. See how it's getting better. See? It's not that much bubbles, but see this one here? I don't like this one here. As soon as I get to the end, I got bubbles at the end of the piston travel. Okay, so try to get those bubbles in there. Always check your lines too. Make sure they're inside the fluid, the end of the hose. See how much better that is? That's almost done right there. We barely got any bubbles now. All right, there's a few more. See those ones? Let me go back and forth. See those right there? Okay, we gotta get those back down in the fluid. Okay, there's a bubble there. See, we're right there. We're pretty much done. This is how you bench bleed. I'm going to continue to bench bleed it until nothing's there. All right? Okay, I'm done now. I have little bit tiny bubbles left. All right? I'm not even going to sweat that. Okay? See that? There's some tiny little bubbles left in this hose here. All right? But I'm going to do that on the car. That's not a big deal though. As long as you got out the major bubbles, you're good to go. All right? So that's a done deal right there for bench bleeding. And that's how you bench bleed your master cylinder. It's that simple. Get your hoses, make sure they're airtight. Pick up these little plastic pieces. Keep these hoses submerged. use clean brake fluid, and remember you can also use regular vacuum hoses, but it's up to you. You know, if you use these, the only thing about these is you cannot see the bubbles in there, but you don't have to see them. All you have to do is keep your eye looking inside the reservoir, and each time you pump, you look for bubbles. And when you continuously pump, you don't see any bubbles any longer, that means you're good to go. That means all the bubbles are out. So that's how you bench bleed the deal there. And now I'm going to throw it on the car and then bleed it on the car. I'm going to bleed the whole brake system. And let's go handle that. Before you take this apart, all these hoses, before you take them off the nipples, get some end caps. Just make them. Get some vacuum hose. Get a vacuum hose, clip it, put a screw or whatever on the end of it. But make sure it's airtight, okay? And you're going to put that on the nipple. All right, ready? Let's do that. Okay, cap this one off. That way no air goes back into it. All right? Come down here. Like that. Come down here. Cap that one off. See, this hose fell out, but I'm pinching it, so no air flows back. Okay? And then, cap this one off here. That's a done deal right there. All right? That's a wrap. So now this is ready to be installed in the vehicle. All right? Cap that off. Everything is sealed right now. Nothing can get out. Okay, let me show you something. When you bleed your brakes and you do them right, and you get all the air out of the system, even on the car, when you get all the air out of the lines, the brake lines, that brake pedal should be solid. It should be hard. Not spongy, not soft. It should be hard. Why is that? Because there's no more air in the system. There's no more air bubbles getting compressed by the piston. Therefore, you have a brake system with no air bubbles at all in there. That means that once you squeeze that brake pedal, then no, this thing is not moving. Your pedal, imagine this is the pedal. It's the brake pedal. Well, look, all this is sealed. This cap's on. I got this capped off, all three openings, and it's sealed, solid. That's when you know your brake system is completely air free. All right, so earlier we could push this in easy. All right, now I can't even push it in because this is all solid and it's locked. That's how we know we got the air out of the system. Okay, those of you who don't have a vise, put the master cylinder on a wall like that. Put your deal in there and then do the do. All right, but make sure your hoses are hooked up correct. And make sure you have it tied up really tight, all right? Like this. Just get all this air out. I'm using my body to press up on the piston in here. Yeah, it's gonna take a little while sometimes, but just keep on going and be patient. All right. And you'll get there. All right, time to put it on now. Okay, check this out. You got a regular wrench here on the left side, and you got a flare nut wrench on the right side. Okay, when you use these regular wrenches on these types of nuts here, sometimes they'll strip. And once they strip, you screw them all up, and they strip very easy. So if you can, try to use a flare nut wrench, one of these deals, all right? They're much better. They slip on just like that, and they're easier to use, okay? So that's just to keep you from stripping your deal there, all right? You don't want to strip that bad boy, then you're gonna have all kind of problems, all right? Okay, you see this rod right here? That's hooked up to the brake pedal and comes out just like that, all right? That's why we use this. All right, to put it behind this. This is doing exactly the same thing as that, except your foot is not on this. You're just doing it manually by hand. All right, so that's all that is. Okay, time to put it on now. I'm taking this off, but be fast, all right? Be fast. I got this cap on the reservoir, and watch this. Put your finger there. Plug up. I'm gonna bring the deal to me, all right? See this here? I'm bringing this up, all right? I'm not even gonna bolt this yet, okay? Because it's harder. If you bolt it right now, it'd be a lot harder. My finger is on the deal, not letting any fluid out. I'm gonna spill some, but that's normal, okay? Here we go. Get that in like that. Wiggle it around, okay? Yeah, this is the tricky part. You don't got a lot of room to work in there, so just gotta work it little by little. It'll go though. Earlier, it's better if you do this without bolting it, the bottom one, because it'll be very hard. All right. The thing here is trying to line up the threads and getting them to bite into the master cylinder threads. That's the tricky part. Okay, got that there. All right, it's not torqued down yet. All right. So now, what I'm gonna do is slap it in like this. Look at the rod. Make sure you slip it in the rod over there. Slip it on the bolt, this side and the other side. All right, just wiggle it in. Flare nut wrench, remember that. Okay, we're tight right there. So this bottom one, good to go. Okay, now I'm gonna take this end cap off, all right? And all this is a pencil, man, stuck in a vacuum hose. That's all it is. You don't need to buy anything special, man. Just make this stuff up. But this is from the store. But I made these other two, the other two that I had on there. Okay, so now, I left this master cylinder loose. That way, I can wiggle this connection in there, because these things are kind of hard to get in. And that's why I started with the bottom one first. Just get the hard one out of the way right away. Okay. Pull that out, plug it up with your finger. Get this ready. Slam it in there. Alright, and wiggle it around. Yeah, wiggle all this stuff around. See me pulling on the hose back here? That way I can get the threads biting. Alright, and that's the trick. Leave stuff loose. If you tighten everything right away, then you're gonna have a situation going on there. A little stressful situation. Alright, now tighten this up. That's good right there. That is tight. Good to go right there. Now this one. Get your finger ready. Plug it up. Get this ready. Put it in place. Wiggle around. Alright. Remember, leave stuff loose for now. As soon as you feel it bite, start screwing it in. And that is tight right there. Done deal. Make sure you wear your safety glasses, alright? You don't want this brake fluid squirting in your eyes. Okay, now, tighten this up. This side. Okay, now we got everything tight. All the bolts are tight. Now, let's get some more brake fluid in there and then bleed them. Okay, now let's put some brake fluid in there. and the filter. All right. That's the filter there. Let's add more brake fluid. All right. Let's fill it up just like that. That's good to go right there. All right. Just to let you know, you can actually do the bench bleeding on the vehicle. You don't have to take it off and do it on a bench. Just do the same process. Take off this, and that one, and put the hoses in there. Connect all these hoses to all the outlets, and keep the fluid up high. Don't let these be pop out. Keep them submerged, all the hoses, and then have an assistant push the brakes while you're sitting here and watch for the bubbles to be released. But you don't have to take off the master cylinder in order to get the air that's trapped in here out. Do it while it's on the vehicle. I would have done it on the vehicle, but I wanted to take mine apart and check the seals and inspect everything in there. All right? So you can still do it on the car. You don't have to do it on the bench. Check this out. This is a homemade brake bleeding container. All right? It's just a Gatorade bottle with a tube in it. That's all it is. All right? I got the see-through tube in there so I can see bubbles come out. The trapped air that's in the system. What you're going to do is you're going to hook up your wrench to the bleeder screw that's on the wheel cylinder, the rear wheel cylinders. You hook it up like that. There's a bleeder screw back here. I'll show you in a little bit. Then you're going to hook up the hose like that. You can hook up your hose like that. Then we're going to bleed the brakes. All right? Open it, close it. Open it, close it. When you tell your assistant, push the brake, they push down. As they hold it down, you open it. Before you let them release the pedal, close it. Make sure you give a command. Make sure you guys are communicating, all right? So you tell them, push the pedal down, they push it down. Then you open it. Air comes out. Then you close it right away. Then you say, okay, open. Push down, open. Close it. Let it up. Push down, open. Close it. Let it up. Pump the brakes. Have your assistant pump the brakes. Slowly. 4, 5, 6 times, doesn't matter. To move the air bubbles to the front of the pistons. All right? Hold it down. Open this. Close it. And release it. It's that simple. Okay, now. Got the deal hooked up over here. Watch for air bubbles coming out of the hose. Okay, go ahead. Push it down. Is it down?
With the emergency brake on?
Oh, you can take it off. Okay, push down.
Yeah.
There it goes right there. Okay, let it up. Pump it a little bit. Okay, have your assistant pump it. Then, okay, hold it down. Open it. Okay, hold it. Bring it up.
There you go.
Yeah. Hold it down. Always start with the rear brake cylinder first. Alright, the rear wheel cylinder first. Okay, down?
Yeah.
Okay. Pump it a couple times. Okay, hold it down. Okay, let me check the fluid. Yeah, you can let go. Okay. Let's do this wheel like 3 more times.
Okay.
Then that'll be good. Okay, hold it down. Okay, open it. Close it. Okay, bring it up. Push down. Okay, let up. Push down. Okay, one more time, down. There are more bubbles right there. See those bubbles? We gotta keep going. Okay, pump it a little. See these bubbles here? Keep going. You see bubbles? Keep on going. Okay, you down? Okay. Open it up, get the rest out. Okay, let it up. Press down. See, the bubbles are starting to come to this wheel cylinder. See that? Okay, let it up. Pump it. Okay, hold it down. Slowly getting them out. How's it feel? Pretty stiff?
Yeah, that's pretty stiff.
Okay, let's do it like a few more times because I got some bubbles coming out. Okay, hold it down. Oh, that was a big one. That was a lot right there. Okay, bring it up. Hold it down. Okay, bring it up. Hold it down. Okay, bring it up. Pump it a little. Okay, hold it down. Up. Okay, down. Okay, that's good. Yeah, that's good. Okay, all that air that you seen come out, that was all the leftover air in the brake system. Can't have that in the brake system. That's dangerous. Extremely dangerous. Could kill you. So you have to bleed each and every brake. All right? Definitely, after you take off the master cylinder, you have to bleed each and every brake. If you don't, you could have air bubbles in the system and you could cause a problem. So that was the first brake wheel cylinder that we just bled. So far we got some air out. We got a lot out just from this one wheel cylinder. And the brake is a little firmer now, but we wanted that thing to be solid, all right? We want it to be hard. So what you want to do is you want to start bleeding the farthest wheel from the master cylinder, which is this rear passenger's right side wheel. All right, so let's move on to the next side, which is the driver's side rear wheel. All right, so start from the farthest. Oh, here's another thing too. Use clean brake fluid when you do this. I've had this brake fluid in here forever, man. But one thing about this is I don't let the fluid go back into the wheel cylinder or the caliper. That's one thing I don't do. So if you notice, before they even release the brake, you have to tighten the screw so you don't get any air sucked back into the system. All right. So that's the only thing here. You know, you should use clean brake fluid though. All right. But as for me, you know, that's what I do, man. But you don't have to use dirty stuff. That's just, I refuse to take it out. That's it. As simple as that. There's no special reason why I got dirty fluid in there. Okay, now you're checking your pedal for firmness. It's getting very firm, all right? It's getting solid. That's exactly how you want it, all right? You don't want any sponginess in that, all right? But we still got air in the system, so now let's go check the master cylinder reservoir. And now, let's add some more brake fluid, okay? Keep this capped off, all right? Keep plenty in there, all right? Don't let it get low at all, okay? We're good. We're on the max right there. Screw that back on, seal it up nice and tight. Go at it again. All right. Let's go bleed it. Okay, hold it down. Okay, now open it while he's got his foot down. Look at all that. Now close it. Okay, up. Hold it down. A little bit of bubbles there. Okay, bring it up. Pump it a little bit. Watch for air here. Hold it down. Okay. I don't see much bubbles in this one. Okay, bring it up. Hold it down. Okay. Bring it up. Hold it down. Okay, we're good with this one. One more time. Bring it up. Pump it. You're pumping it to bring the bubbles to the front of the pistons. All right, if you possibly can. Okay, hold it down. We're good. Oh no, there's bubbles right there. Okay, bring it up. Bring it down. Small bubbles there. Okay, pump it a little. Okay, hold it down. Okay. All right, bring it up. Let's go one more time. Okay, hold it down. Okay, that's good. You bring it up, yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's it. Okay, both rear wheel cylinders are both bled. Like I said before, you're starting from the furthest to the closest to the master cylinder. So we went rear, passenger rear, driver rear. Now we're going to go to passenger front and then passenger left. All right? See, our fluid went down. The more you bleed, the more it's going to come out of the bleed screws. So you got to make sure you keep these your reservoir full. All right? Keep that filled up. Don't let it get low at all, because if you let it get low, you actually suck air in. Then you got to do it all over again. All right? You don't want any air in the system. Okay? We got this tight. Now let's do the front passenger side. Okay. Now checking for firmness. That is pretty firm right there. That is good. Very good. Okay. Before it was going all the way down to the floor. So, okay, this time we're gonna do it solo with no help. All right, we're gonna bleed this with nobody helping us. All right. Okay, now you don't have anyone helping you. So now here's what you do. I got a pry bar here, but I've used 2x4s. I've used the club, anything with some length on it. All right. But in this case, I'm using my pry bar because it fits perfect in these little slots right here. All right. So jam this up on the deal there, just like that. Jam that in there like that. Then grab the deal here, your adjuster deal, and pull it forward. All right, as far as you can. Ready? Pull it up. Pull that. Press that as hard as you can. Okay. Now, get on there tight. Okay, right there. All right, that's pressing down right there. Okay, right now there's pressure on that brake pedal from the pry bar. And the chair scooted forward and locked in place. Now, ready? What we're gonna do is open up the deal. We're gonna open up the deal. Haven't even turned the camera off yet. All right, so prove to you. You can do this by yourself. Watch the bubbles here. Also, if you can, look there. All right, ready? Okay, here we go. Okay, see those bubbles? Close it right away though, all right? Since you don't have anybody, that pry bar is gonna go down fast, all right? So open it, then close it, all right? Let's do it again. Okay, I'm gonna pump it a couple times. Get that air bubble over there. That is solid right there. Okay, put it here, back on the chair. Just a little lower right there. Get that jammed on the chair right there. Pull it forward. Just like that. Alright. Now that is jammed in there again. See? Now let's go back over here. Watch the hose. Ready? I'm gonna open it right now, real quick. Right there. Okay? Don't worry about that leak. It's not a big deal. As long as you're not letting bubbles come back into the caliper. Alright? Let's do it again. Let it lock in place. Let's open her up. Try to look there too for bubbles and more bubbles in here. But we're doing pretty good. Brake pedal's solid already. Oh, there's little tiny bubbles right there. Okay, close it right away. Alright, and that's how you bleed them by yourself. Done deal. That is done. Okay, let's move to the last wheel. Okay, in order to gain access to this, turn your wheel whichever way you need to in order to reach the bleeder screw. Okay, now we got access. Hook it up. Fill that up. Alright. Okay. This right there. Got on there tight. Brake pedal push down. Get here. Open up the bleeder screw. Ready? What do we got there? We got bubbles. Close it right away. Okay, make sure those bubbles don't go back in there. Alright? How do you do that? You gotta close it right away. Last one. Should be no more air bubbles. That's perfect right there. Done deal. That right there is done. Alright, and that's how you deal with a spongy brake pedal. To where you try to bleed the brakes a ton of times and you couldn't get rid of that sponginess. Well, that's probably your problem, man. Your problem isn't in the brake line. Your air is trapped in there. You got to get it out. You can either take it off and do the bench bleeding process, or you can do it right here on the spot like I told you. Now you got to test them. All right? Don't assume. If you got bubbles still left over, do not assume. Get all those bubbles out of that system. All right? The brake system. Find you a street and you're gonna go like 30, 35 miles an hour, between 25 and 35. And then you're going to try to stop the vehicle within 2 cars. All right? You find 2 cars, right? Like you see this white car and this truck. Start at the beginning, and you have to stop within those 2 cars. All right? There's 2 more. All right? After this white van here, those 2 cars on the left-hand side, I'm going 30 right now. Okay, we're good. See, we're stopped within these 2 cars. One more time. Now, I don't have no more 2 cars, but I'm just going to act like there's another one behind this one. That's good. All right. And make sure you test your brakes, all right? Drive around for a little bit and see if your brakes can actually work very fast. Make sure your pedal is hard. Can't be soft. Can't be spongy at all. It must be responsive, quick. It must be quick, all right? And that's how you test your brakes, man, after you bleed them, all right? No sponginess at all. The pedal must be firm. Okay, let's do a recap on everything we just did. First of all, safety first. Wear your safety glasses. You have to wear these, man. If you get this brake fluid in your eyes, ooh, man, you're gonna head straight. You're headed straight for the hospital. Anyway, the reason why I took off the master cylinder is because the brake pedal was spongy, and I bled the entire system. There was no more air in the lines, but there was air stuck inside the master cylinder, and that's the reason why I took it off. And I wanted to also take it off to inspect the seals inside there, the pistons and everything. And everything turned out okay. So all I did is I just bench bled it, and then put it back together, re-bled the whole system. Now everything's all good. Remember, if you got a spongy brake pedal, you can bleed this thing 1,000 times, and you still will not get the air out of the master cylinder. That's why you have to bench bleed it. Very important right here. So don't forget, man, like I always say, man, put Jesus Christ first in your life. Don't play around with your soul, man. You got one chance, man, to get this right. God died on the cross for you, man. Jesus did. He died on the cross for you, for your sins. Don't play games with your soul, man. Repent, and remember this too. Philippians 4:13 says, I can do all things through Christ that strengthens me. Never forget this either, man. With God, all things are possible. Now go out there, smash on it, man, and handle life. Never ever give up.